This program is proudly brought to you by PNG Motors, Gazelle International Hotel, and Telecom Limited.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Sports Scene. I am Jaylee, this is Denzel, and we're back to bring you all the latest sporting news from the past week.
Yep, another week of sports and another awesome show. Let's get it.
That's right. On tonight's show, we speak to the upcoming Sports Talk 7's tournament manager, Mr. Benson Upas, and what this year's preps for Sports Talk 7's look like so far. We also have a chat with executives from Cricket PNG and the upcoming T20 Smash next week. And we feature a not-so-popular sport, walking soccer. But before all that, let's get straight into it. What happened this past week, Denzel?
Well, now for what transpired over the weekend and this week coming up, on Tuesday, the PNG Barras arrived from their world tour. They started in Oman, where they got defeated by Oman, and then they beat Hong Kong, and then Nepal, and then they also moved to Malaysia, and they just returned from their tour. Now moving forward, Port Moresby softball men's, they've started their corporate social sevens last weekend, and they'll be heading into the finals this weekend. Right now, let's get into our scorelines for the weekend. Starting off with the NRL round 2, let's go. On Thursday, the Broncos defeated the Rabbitohs 28 points to 18. That's the top of the order match there. And the next day, Friday, Sharks defeated the Bulldogs 25 points to 6. Panthers 26 points defeating the Eels 18 points. On Saturday, the Raiders defeated the West Tigers 32 points to 12. Cowboys came on top with a very close tight match against the Knights 21 points to 20. The Storms defeated the Warriors 30 points to 26, where we saw Xavier Coates with that really nice try on the sideline. Now on Sunday, the Sea Eagles defeated the Roosters 21 points to 14, and the Dolphins humiliating the Dragons with 38 points to 0. Goodness. Now moving on to the Host Plus Cup. On Saturday, the Pride team 38 points defeating the Tigers 12, Bears 30 beating the Blackhawks 10, and the Capras, Cutters and Magpies all came out on top against the Hunters. Unfortunate turnout for the Hunters there. Sunday, Dolphins beat the Devils 16 points to 12, and the Jets came out on top, 36 points against the Clydesdales 16. We had the other Seagulls team on bye. Moving on to Super Rugby, the Week 4 matches, Moana Pacifica 24 points defeating the Force 14. The Reds 53 points, a big 53 against the Rebels, defeating them 53 to 26. Hurricanes came out on top, defeating the Crusaders 14 points to 10. And on Saturday, the Blues defeated the Warriors 12 points to 10. And the Chiefs beating the Drewers 46 to 29, Brumbies 27, and Highlanders 21. And that concludes our weekend scorelines. Now stay with us. We'll be right back after this break, and we'll head into talking with the Sports Talk 7's management, where we'll see what we can expect for Sports Talk 7's this year. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this break.
Welcome back to Sports Scene. The New Power Sports Talk 7's in line with Capital Rugby Union will be hosted from the 29th to the 31st of March at the Bava Park and Sir John Guy Stadium here in Port Moresby. Preparations for the tournament have proceeded, and organizers are ecstatic about this year's competition. The annual New Power Sports Talk 7's competition is now into its 7th year of running, and preparations are underway for the long Easter weekend competition in Port Moresby.
Yeah, we're so grateful to have New Power again for the 3rd year running. Without such sponsor of that magnitude, we can't host a national rugby sevens tournament as such.
The Sports Talk 7's competition has attracted teams from all over the country, and organizers are now looking at up to 30 plus teams to participate this year.
For the first time also we normally usually have teams from the outside provinces, but for the first time we would have probably more than one team, women team from outside. We're having 3 teams from the 12 women team from the outside, 1 from Arab, and 1 from Kimbe, and 1 from Ley. We're so thankful for their interest, and they're showing the interest. The women's sports is growing. We also have more than 10 open men's team from outside as well. Yeah.
A large turnout is expected, and the organizers are thrilled at the interest shown this year.
We have former champions. It'll be very entertaining, high level of sevens. Currently the Puk Rugby Sevens team on tour. They'll come back. Each of them, the players will be participating in their teams. It'll be very entertaining.
Reigning champions Biala Suarez will be back to defend their title this year. Other participating clubs include the Rabaul Stallions, Gerhu Natives, PC Ravens, and last year's Sports Talk 7 plate winners, the boys from Lihir.
We've been consistently hosting the tournament, and through the COVID, the Sevens national selectors have used our tournament to select the players, and that's what we want. Rugby is played by more than 132 countries. You get to travel to places that other sports can take you to. You get, the boys from the village. They went, they can't play Sports Talk Sevens. They get selected. They've traveled the world. They're going to return from South America now. They've gone before a couple of years back to South America. They went to South Africa. Those countries that boys from, if you get selected from Biala in West Britain and such village level, and you come and you experience that. So Rugby Union provides that for them, and we provide a platform for that.
It is very noticeable the benefits of this tournament.
The total prize money is 85,000 kina, 20,000 for the first time. We will have 20,000 cash for the cup winner for the open men's, and 15,000 for the women's team. We are not entertaining prize money for the juniors, but they will have other goodies like trophies and medals to give away just to motivate them. But otherwise, yeah, we have a total prize money of 85,000. Again, thanks to our platinum sponsor, naming rights sponsor, New Power. Without our sponsors, as such, we can't, you can't get this kind of money to, support such tournament at this magnitude or at this level. Total prize money is 85,000 kina, 20,000 for the first time. We will have 20,000 cash for the cup winner for the open men's, and 15,000 for the women's team. We are not entertaining prize money for the juniors, but they will have other goodies like trophies and medals to give away just to motivate them. But otherwise, yeah, we have a total prize money of 85,000. Again, thanks to our platinum sponsor, naming rights sponsor, New Power. Without our sponsors, as such, we can't, you can't get this kind of money to, support such tournament at this magnitude or at this level. Yeah. I just want to call out to all the fans and followers of Sports Talk, New Power Sports Talk Rugby Sevens, and the teams. Just come and enjoy. It's a family-friendly game, friendly sports. You come and enjoy. It'll be a good environment.
So stay with us. After these messages, we'll head straight into a discussion with Cricket PNG, where we'll be talking about their Isuzu T20 Smash coming up. EMTV will also be televising that one, and we'll also be talking about player rankings moving forward into this tournament. Stay where you are. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back to Sports Scene. Now let's talk about Baras, let's talk about Lewas, and let's talk about Cricket PNG. Now I'm joined now on set with CEO of Cricket PNG, Mr. Richard Dunn, and Julia Price from the Pacific Oz Sports Program. Now they'll be telling us a bit about what we can expect with Cricket PNG moving forward, the tours that we've been hearing so much about, and the T20 Smash, the Isuzu T20 Smash coming up on the Easter weekend. Now, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me on the show.
Hi, Denzel. How are you?
I'm good. And how about you too?
Yeah, great.
All right, awesome. So the Baras returned on Tuesday. Tell us about what do you think about their performance in the three tours that they went to?
Yeah, I think, look, the opportunity was there to try to grow the side before they went to the T20 World Cup in June. And I think we achieved that. Our new coach, Tatenda Taibu, we kind of secretly allowed the news to come out of him joining us, but now it's obviously well and truly out there. Did a great job. The guys, I think, improved in the way they went about their business, particularly having 10 days in India to start off with, and then also having a series against Oman, who's been a pretty tough rival for us, and then finishing off in Hong Kong, which they beat Nepal, who are also a really, really good side, and then finishing off in Malaysia the last bit. So a really good opportunity, plenty of pressure on them from the travel, plenty of pressure from the teams they played, and I think they came through it really well.
Yeah, I myself personally, I think the first match up against Nepal, I felt like the boys were still getting through some jet lag from the travel, so Nepal came out on top on that one. But I'm pretty sure they proved it at the last part, and then they managed to come away with that Hong Kong Cup. That was really good. Yeah. So in terms of the international rankings that we've been hearing you talk about, can you tell us more about those rankings with the countries and the players?
Yeah, I mean, with the countries, the ICC had a ranking system in T20 cricket that includes all members of ICC, so from number 1 to number 100, and that's in both men's and women's cricket. So we're really excited, obviously, with with our Lewas in particular, who are ranked number 11 in the world at the moment, which is exciting. The Barramundis are 19th in the world at the moment, and hopefully, I haven't seen the rankings in the last couple of days, but hopefully the win over Nepal would have seen them maybe go up a couple of places, which would be really good news for us.
All right, that's really good. Now the Baras have returned. Now let's talk about the PNG Lewas. Now they recently, on Sunday last week, they announced the team, and now we have seen that they have left for their tour in Zimbabwe, and then they'll be moving to the United Arabs. Tell us about that tour moving forward.
Yeah, our girls were given ODI status by the ICC along with 4 other countries in August 2022. And that's a great opportunity to put them on the world stage. As I said before, they've all got T20I status and rankings, but to be one of the 16, I think it is, ODI sides in women's cricket is a great opportunity. However, we hadn't managed to play any games up till now. Been very difficult to sort of organise competition when, for PNG, it's expensive to leave PNG and to fly around the world to try to get those games. But we've taken the bit between our teeth, and now we're off to Zimbabwe, so we're playing 3 ODIs there and 3 T20s. And then we go to the UAE, where we play Scotland and USA in 2 ODIs. And hopefully, as of this morning, maybe a 3rd, which we're really good. If we're successful in all those games, we get them played, then we'll appear on the rankings table in ODI cricket. So, again, I guess for the visibility of cricket in PNG, it's great we'll see the women's side up there.
Wow, now that sounds exciting. Now for the viewers, ODI means one day international, so they'll be playing cricket through the whole day. Now that's what he means by ODI international cricket. Now, moving on, The preparations for Lewis moving, I understand, Julia, you've been here helping them now. What do you think about the girls' preparations moving into these tours?
Yeah, it's been excellent. They've had a really good run. I've been up here a couple of times to be able to help out with the Lewis, thanks to Pacific Oz Sports, and just their development and the way they're improving. Working out the differences between T20 cricket and ODI cricket is a really good challenge for them. And I think something like this tour that's coming up to Zimbabwe and UAE is going to be a really good challenge for them to be able to expand their game, work out how to bat, really long periods of time in the middle, longer spells. Yeah, so it's been fantastic. Really good preparation. New coach. They did really well over in the New Zealand for the Pacific Cup as well, winning that. So they've got a good sort of skill sets behind them at the moment to make sure that they're going to continue to grow, particularly in the ODI status.
Awesome, that's really good. Now that's a confidence boost for our country. Really good to have you here. Mr. Richard, tell us about the Pacific Oz Sports program. Yeah,
look, Pacific Oz Sports have been around for a couple of years now with Cricket PNG. They've tended to work a little bit more with the ladies' side of the game, and particularly the Lewis, but the Cialis, our young up-and-coming team under 19s. They had an opportunity to go to the Cricket Australia under 19 championships in December last year. A little bit of a mixed bag of results, but great experience again for a team that's going to go to a global qualifier in May this year. So, the partnership with Pacific Oz Sports is really important to us, and without that, it would be a bigger challenge to be able to prepare the team properly.
All right, now that's really good, and a really good advantage for our younger players. You'll be here helping the Cialis team, is that correct? Yeah, absolutely. I'm doing a fair bit with them at the moment. They're very keen, and it's great to be able to be here to be able to help with the Cialis, because obviously you need a future, and these girls are the future who will eventually become Lewis, hopefully, and start getting their rankings up and leading into that regional qualifier in Indonesia in May is a really good way to be preparing now to make sure that they're going to be absolutely on their game when they get there in May. Oh, great. Now, these girls are set. That's really good to hear. Now, in more recent, more domestic stuff, now the T20, Isuzu T20 is coming up. Tell us about that one and the teams. I've read that the Barramundis and Lewis players will be divided equally into these teams?
Yeah, what we've done is this year we've separated the competitions, partly because the Lewis are away for 3.5 weeks now. So the men's T20 Smash starts on the 29th of March, which is Good Friday, and then continues through for 3 weekends, so the final on the last weekend. And then the women's T20 Smash is on, I think it starts on the 4th of April and goes through till about the 20th of April. So double round robin, great opportunity for both the Barras and the Lewis players to, challenge each other, which is always good to see. What we've done is we've essentially drawn 5 of the Barramundis 20-player squad in each team, and the same with the Lewis. So the top 20 players divided into 4 lots of 5 go into the teams. We've also allocated the four under 19 players to each team. So again, in terms of the preparation of the Cialis, they're going to get some great competition leading into the qualifier. And of course, Isuzu coming on board and Barocco Motors, very, very exciting for us to have that support around both of those teams, both those competitions.
All right, that's really good. Now, is there anything you'd like to add to share with our viewers before we wrap up this segment?
Well, look, I guess I've been here about 11 months. People keep, reminding me of anniversaries, and I'd have to say it's been really exciting. PNG's always done pretty well on the global stage. There have always been opportunities to play, but I think the big thing for me is to make sure the domestic game's strong. And look, the best result we've had in the last 11 months, without a doubt, is the competition we call Malolo Cricket at the end of last year, where we finished up with 165 teams between the ages of 13 and 18 playing cricket in PNG domestically, and to increase that from 10 the year before was a remarkable achievement. So, really exciting for the game and for the future.
Mr. Richard Dunn, Miss Julia Price, it's really a pleasure to have you on the show, and we wish you all the best with the plans with cricket moving forward. Now, viewers, I'll say it again. Parents, please get your children more involved with cricket. There are so many programs for the future, and the future looks bright for Cricket PNG. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this break, and we'll continue with Sports Scene.
Welcome back to Sports Scene. Now here's a story about a not so popular sport called walking soccer. As the title says, it's soccer, but they walk.
Yes, now it's pretty interesting. Like, it's just soccer, like futsal, more specifically futsal, but they walk. Now, the most interesting thing about this is all players of different ages, different athletes, different whatever, you name it, they can all play on an equal playing field, and it's competitive that way. So let's take a look at the walking soccer grand final that happened over the weekend. They completed their first successful season. Let's check it out.
In the heart of Port Moresby's Gorens industrial area, there's a place called Karua Medical Warehouse. Now this warehouse is where the eccentric code of walking soccer completed its first ever seasonal league.
To my knowledge, this would be the first of its kind in PNG. Walking football, to my knowledge, has never been initiated.
Sponsored by Postman Koya IC Lawyers, this intriguing mode of soccer is significantly known for allowing athletes of all ages, skills and fitness levels to compete against each other on equal planes.
We've played 2 tournaments so far. One was at Christmas and the other one just finishing now. It's been a lot of fun. The best thing about it is like people from all different backgrounds, age groups, sizes, levels of fitness, like we can all play together. And it's competitive, but at the same time it's good spirit, so yeah.
Apart from younger, more fit athletes, walking soccer also allows for more senior and retired athletes to compete in the league.
Really enjoyed it because for me, I'm already past that age where I can play competitive soccer. So to come into this competition, I really enjoy it. The only issue is keeping up with the young ones that take the court with us. So otherwise, it's really good. And for the, I guess for the ex-internationals and those that have retired from playing competitive soccer, it's good. It's really, really good for them.
Bringing people together, the Walking Soccer League is another great initiative by those responsible for the biggest annual charity event many know as the Charity Cup.
For us, our organization, our law firm, we value people, and we understand that people are important in terms of development of our country, and any organization, any family, any clan, tribe, any group of people is only as good as the people, and this sort of event helps in developing people, especially young people. And that's why we're more than happy to support this event.
The league ended with Garden Hills Team 2 claiming the Character Series title, Sombu Wakap topping the Challenger Series, and Garden Hills Team 1 triumphing the championship, beating Heatwaves in a nerve-wracking penalty shootout. With the inaugural season drawing its end, the lead sponsors PKA Lawyers envision more growth for this family-oriented sport.
Postman Koya IC Lawyers, we also run the charity soccer event. It's an annual fixture, 7-a-side that's usually played down at the Sejongkai Stadium. And in terms of creating a wider reach for this event, we might incorporate it into charity soccer.
Now that looked fun. Did you manage to try it out?
No, I didn't really try it out, but it was fun. If I was more equipped for it, I would. But it was really fun to watch also. So if you're one who loves soccer, but maybe just a bit more slow-paced, and walking soccer is for you. Now let's head straight into our scorelines. Sorry, not scorelines, but our weekend previews. Starting off with the match that's happening right now. The Panthers are playing up against the Broncos, and tomorrow, Warriors go up against the Raiders at 5 p.m. and Roosters versus the Rabbitohs. That happens on Friday. Moving on to Saturday, the Bulldogs go up against the Titans, the Dragons versus the Cowboys, and West Tigers versus the Sharks conclude the matches for Saturday. And on Sunday, the Eels go up against the Seagulls and the Knights versus the Storms. Now we have our Dolphins team on bye. Moving to the Host Plus Cup, the PNG Hunters looking to try to get their form back against the Falcons at the Santos Stadium. Now the Black Hawks go up against the Pride, Devils versus Magpies, Seagulls face the Bears, and the Cutters go up against the Capras. On Sunday, the Tigers go up against the Jets, and the WMC goes versus the Dolphins. Now moving on to the Super Rugby Pacific matches, the Hurricanes go up against the Rebels on Friday, and the Brumbies, they face Moana. That concludes Friday, and on Saturday, the Fiji and Drua go up against the Waratahs, Chiefs versus the Highlanders, Blues go up against the Crusaders, and Force face the Reds. Now, those are our weekend previews for the more international matches. Now, moving on to the local stuff. Now, the PMSA, the Port Moresby Soccer preseason finals, that's going to happen also this weekend. And the POM Men's Softball Corporate 7 finals will also happen in this weekend. Teams to watch would be NCSL and US Embassy, because this is the first year also, and some of them are baseball players. It was really fun to watch. Now, the JT Super 9s finals will also take place this weekend. Under 20s and senior men's and women's. So that happens this weekend. And that pretty much concludes what will happen over the weekend, Jaylee.
Sounds like an exciting week ahead. Now, before we go, if you have a sports-related story you'd like us to cover, please contact us on 312-9229, or you can send us a message via Facebook or drop by our office at Level 2 Garden City, Boroko, here in Port Moresby. Now that's it for tonight, guys. We hope you enjoyed our company, because we certainly enjoyed yours. Join us next week, same time, same place, right here on your number one to watch. Until next time, Denzel.
Yep, always a pleasure to have you. Let me catch next week, same time, same place, on your number one to watch, EMTV. Good night from Sports Scene.
This program was proudly brought to you by PNG Motors, Gazelle International Hotel, and Telecom Limited.